Yes, you should. Go get it now. Go buy it. Go play it. Video over. Done. Ah! Okay, obviously that's not the entire video. But yes, I think, okay, I just want to say, first of all, I just want to put this out there. Did not grow up playing this game. I played it for the first time about 2.5 years ago. Batman Arkham Asylum is my most replayed game since I started playing games as an adult. Video games as an adult. It's weird. It's a 2009 game. It should be, like, I am not a fan of older games. I'll be honest. I'm sorry. Except for, like, there are some times where older games have aged really well. Nintendo games, for instance, have aged fantastically. But for, like, games that are trying to be more realistic, Batman Arkham Asylum is shockingly good for a 2009 game. Okay? It still holds up to this day as a perfectly playable game. Like, it's good. It is still good in 2024. I don't know what else to say about that. Of course, I am going to go into some more detail. I'm going to have some chapters for immersion and gameplay. If you want to check those out and bounce around a little bit, that is up to you. Anyways, let's get into it a little bit more. Anyways, yeah. So Batman Arkham Asylum, I've played it probably about 3 or 4 times now, and it is a fantastic game. It's nice and short, so that you can get through it pretty quickly, pretty easily. That's why Batman Arkham Asylum, not Arkham City or Arkham Knight, is the one that I've played multiple times. Actually, all 4 of the Arkham games are good. They're good. They're all good. They're great. They're all great, including Arkham Origins. And I think Arkham Origins gets a lot of flack for being a little bit different. Now, it's not made by Rocksteady. It's made by a different studio, and it's a little bit too similar to Arkham City, and that's kind of the reason why, at least in, like, gameplay wise. That's why. But I think it's perfectly. It is good. It's still good. It's still great. Those are the 4 best Batman games I think we may ever get. Those might be it, you know. And it is really sad to see that the studio that made Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight made Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. That sucks. But, I mean, yeah. And especially considering that Arkham Asylum, 15-year-old game, is still so fun to play. And, you know, I made a video back, you know, a while back, about Assassin's Creed 2. I went through and I played Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time in 2023. And it kind of sucks that Assassin's Creed 2 and Arkham Asylum came out the same year. Arkham Asylum is the reason why I was a little bit harsher on Assassin's Creed 2 than people might be. And it's because as Arkham Asylum, for a 2009 game, hold up really well. Assassin's Creed 2 is really janky. Like, now, if you were able to take a lot of the jank and whatnot out of Assassin's Creed 2, I think it's a great game. But Arkham Asylum still, for somehow is able to do everything really well. Even when I talk about Starfield, Starfield has, like, so many, like, you have all these, like, every time you go into a building and whatnot, you have a whole loading screen. And you don't get that in Arkham Asylum. Now, maybe you did back 2009. What is that? 360 and PS3? Is that, I think? Yeah. But, like, playing it on PS5 and PC, it just kind of fades to black and then fades back in. It's a little bit of a loading time, but, you know, it's not as fluid as you might see in, like, all the time. But anyways. So anyways, let's get into some more detail. Let's get into the immersion of it. So firstly, the story of Batman Arkham Asylum. It takes place over the course of one evening. I'm not going to go into any spoiler details, but I thought the story was pretty good, pretty solid. Nothing to complain there. The graphics. Now, obviously, the graphics are going to be the thing that is the most aged in this game. Is going to be the graphics. Now, on PS5, I did play it on PS5, and the Return to Arkham edition was like they updated it to like kind of what it looks like in Arkham Knight, so it looks really good on the Return to Arkham. I'm going to be showing any of the gameplay I'm showing. It's going to be recorded from the PC version, which I believe is the same quality as it would have been on the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation. I don't know. Again, I didn't play it back then. I played it on PC about 2.5 years ago for the first time. So it doesn't look terrible. That's the big thing though, is it doesn't look terrible, and the atmosphere of the atmosphere of it all looks really good. Like it looks really good. It sells the whole thing so that you don't need the highest top of the line graphics for this game, because the atmosphere is just so, like, it's so disgusting and grimy and whatnot that having the lower texture graphics just kind of helps add to it. And I just love the atmosphere of this game. It is, and it's the reason why I like Arkham Asylum. It's hard. I don't know what I can say if I like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, or Arkham Knight the most. They all have things that I love about each of them. But the thing I love the most about Arkham Asylum is how small and how atmospheric the game is. Just like it is a small contained story, a small contained game, and it is very atmospheric, and it just works so beautifully. I just love that. And then of course navigation through it. Going through, you have your, a lot of your typical stuff, a lot of your typical navigation ways of doing things. The grappling hook actually works really well, and it's I don't know exactly what to say about it, because it works just like it's supposed to work. That's the good thing. That's how it's supposed to work. I don't think, as far as to my memory, I haven't really run into any huge issues with things not acting like they're supposed to. For the most part, yeah. The grappling hook and being able to swing across things, and it's pretty clear how, like, you know what you're going to grapple to when you grapple, and sometimes you make mistakes. Obviously, everybody does this, and you can climb things, you can jump, you can glide, you can grapple. You do everything you think you could do in a Batman game, and that's great. That's fantastic. Now the gameplay. First of all, the combat. There's two types of combat in Arkham Asylum, same as Arkham City and Arkham Knight as well. But you have the stealth combat, and then you have the hand-to-hand combat, or the free flow combat. And obviously, Arkham Asylum is the smaller of the like it has everything like much more simplified than you have in City or Knight. And like it works really well though, and you can float, like you can free flow, and you can just get at people and just really go for it, and it's fluid. It works well. There can be a little bit of jank here and there. It's really minor, I'd say. But like even coming from 2024 and playing it, you can really go at it, and you can really it is fully playable, and it doesn't feel like I am like, oh my gosh, I'm dying to get through this. That was kind of how I was feeling when I was playing through Assassin's Creed 2. I'm sorry to the Assassin's Creed 2 fans, by the way. You guys probably hate me, but it's like when I was playing through that game, I was having a hard time getting through it. You had, especially with the navigation and whatnot, because things just wouldn't respond the way I wanted it to respond, the way I expected it to respond. But when I was playing through Arkham Asylum, I never had that issue. And so yeah, it's fluid. It's it's kind of simplistic. It doesn't have to do too much. That's great. That's fantastic. The puzzles. There are actually kind of some puzzles in there, and they're not like so obvious simplistic. Like I have had times when I was first playing through this game, I had times where I had to step away. Like it was like at night and I was playing and I could not figure something out. I'd have to step away from the computer. I'd have to turn off the game, go to bed, and the next day come back to it, and then I was able to figure it out. But there were some puzzles that weren't the most intuitive. But I mean that's part of it being a puzzle. They're not supposed to be like the most obvious thing in the world. You're supposed to try to figure it out. And so they were complicated enough that it wasn't like the most obvious thing in the world. It's not exactly a puzzle game, but there are some different puzzles in there as well. And it doesn't feel like super crazy or unfair or anything like that. They give you all the tools that you need to as well. And then also there is tool progression in here. Now, of course, you have like some different upgrades for your weapons and whatnot. But then also, as you're going throughout the island, now again, it is a small island. So you're going to places, and then you're revisiting those places and coming back, and you're like, so you'll go to a building for one part of the story, and then you'll end up returning there in a different part, and you go to a whole different section of that building, and then you might go back later, and like things are way different or whatever. Like that's really cool the way they did that. They have a small area, and they utilize that for the whole progression of the game, and it was a fantastic way of doing it. Honestly, I think this game was just made so well. It's too good for a 2009 game. It holds up really well. I think it is so playable. It is a game that if you're interested in playing like a good Batman game, especially like if you've never played any of the Arkham games and you've been looking for, you played maybe Arkham Knight or Gotham Knights, or you played Suicide Squad, or you're looking for a good DC game, or you're looking for a good Batman game, absolutely don't play City or Night first. Play Arkham Asylum first, and go through them chronologically, or at least the way they were released. And also, go ahead and do Arkham Origins. Don't skip out on Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins is a very good game. And I would play that. I'd play Origins between City and Night. That's how I would go about it. I'd play Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, then Arkham Knight. There's the trilogy. The story continues from Asylum to City to Night, and Origins is kind of like a prequel. But I would play Arkham Asylum first, and especially when you do it in that order, you can appreciate the advances in technology that went along the way. I played it in Asylum, City, Night, then Origins, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna do Origins or not. But like starting from the earliest game is going to be the best way of going about it. That way you can appreciate that game, and then as you get further up, then you can appreciate the advances in technology instead of starting at night and then working your way backwards. And also the story as well. So that's how I would go about doing that. Have you guys played Batman Arkham Asylum? What did you guys think? Leave your comments down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.